Hey folks, I hope everyone's having a great day. Just wanted to do a quick video about my nominations for this year's uh, YouTube Hall of Fame. This is something that Baseball Collector does, Mike, Baseball Collector, has done for the past couple of years, where he recognizes sort of the leaders within our YouTube community, our collecting community. I think he allows up to 10 nominations. I am nominating 5. I think 10's a little too much for me. And I don't subscribe to and watch on a consistent basis a ton of YouTube channels. I watch a fair amount, but they're sort of random here and there. But there are probably a dozen or so that I've actively watched and subscribed to over the past couple of years at least. So I'm nominating 5 channels here, and I'll tell you how many subs each channel has as of right now today, and a little reason as to why I'm voting for that person. I'm going to start off with Filmington. If you haven't watched his channel, watch it. I think Phil does a great job. He does a great product, for one, the repack product that is the rookie card explosion box. But also he does great analysis of young players. And I'm a very analytical guy. I love watching his analysis. I love watching him talk about prospects and showing off some of the collection that he has. And also his talks about the sort of capitalistic side of sports collecting a little bit, how he buys and sells, what he looks for. So he's just a very interesting guy to watch. So Filmington is my number 1 nominee. My number 2 nominee is a little different, I think, from most other people's nominees. I'm going to go with Chris Justice at cardsinfinity.com. Now, Chris is sort of the OG, the original breaker. And forget what you think about breakers. I don't care what you think about breakers. Chris, I think, really helped liven the community. It helped prop up the collecting community a little bit. It probably has helped raise prices a little bit, so that's good if you've had cards that were helped propped up by it. That's bad if you're trying to buy cards that have been propped up. But he's just a super nice guy. I've never spoken to him on the phone, but I've had several conversations via email with him. He's very personable. He's very personable on his videos. Like I said, he was, I think, the original breaker of boxes. He's just fun to watch. He does all sports. Super nice guy again. So cardsinfinity.com, I think he's really helped the community at large. My next nominee is Up North Collectors. This is a father-son duo from Michigan, and they really showcase to me what collecting is supposed to be like. I started collecting with my dad in 1991. I remember the first pack of cards he got me was 1991 Topps, and it had Frank Thomas in it, and I knew that name. And then shortly after that, he got me a 1980. He went to a sports card shop and got me an 87 Donruss Bo Jackson, and then a 1966 Ed Matthews. He was a big Ed Matthews fan growing up, and I still have those in my card. Still have those in my collection. They're nicely displayed in my office at home. But yeah, they really are what collecting is supposed to be to me, where you can enjoy it with your father or your son, your child, whoever. Enjoy it with other people, and they do enjoy it, and they are not limited to baseball. They do basketball and I think football and soccer, but they're just a good duo to listen to. They banter a little bit, and it's funny, but they do box breaks. They do showcase websites where you can buy cards from. They do a little analysis on it, but it's just a fun channel to watch. I enjoy those guys. My last 2 guys are really guys who tell stories. The first one is Vintage Car Curator. He has just about 2,000 subs. He hasn't made a lot of videos, I don't think, maybe 50 over the past couple of years, past year. But it's really a case of quality over quantity. His videos are very analytical. They're deep dives into current market situations. He does a card of the week, I think, showcase where he talks about a particular card, and it could be a card of a guy you've never heard of, but they're just very interesting stories. He's interesting to listen to. It's sort of like watching a History Channel show, and I loved the History Channel growing up when it was actually history focused. But yeah, great channel, great stories. And my last guy is Dead Guy Cardboard, who has just over 2,000 subs. This guy, I just really like vintage. You don't see a lot of vintage on this channel, but I do. But it doesn't mean I don't have a lot of vintage. I have a fair amount of vintage. Started out in vintage, still pick up vintage here and there. But my vintage collection is fairly nice, so I don't need to keep buying vintage necessarily. But this guy has a lot of vintage, and he also tells stories behind the cards. He tells stories behind games, and he's just a really good narrative channel to watch if you like, sort of similar to Vintage Card Curator from his weekly showcase, card showcase. He just very narrative, and it's enjoyable to just sit back and sort of watch what he has to say and showcase some of his collection. But those are my 5: Dead Guy Cardboard, Vintage Card Curator, Up North Collectors, cardsinfinity.com, and Filmington. As a reminder, if you haven't watched the previous video to this one, go ahead, check it out. Leave a comment to try to win this Pete Rose autographed card. Hope everybody has a great day, and I will see you soon. Thanks. Bye.